Well, Jens Eskelund is the Managing Director of container shipping giant Maersk's China business and Vice President of the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China. Asked for his take on this year's political meetings in Beijing.
I think really there are quite a few takeaways. One of those that I paid notice was that there seems to be quite a bit of focus on the economy, a lot of encouragement for the private sector, which we'd like to hear. Also continuity, there were a lot of familiar faces in the administration. And then also quite a bit of focus on stability and security, in particular in regards to geopolitical tension. And that's, of course, something that also is a bit of concern for us as foreign companies, the tension that we are seeing right now around the world.
And so if we focus on the economy for a moment, how do you view China's aim to achieve 5% of GDP growth this year and to focus on domestic demand? Are these achievable goals? Do you think that they are welcome to companies like yours?
In my view, 5% actually sounds rather conservative. We have seen a fairly strong start to the year. We have seen the PMI coming out fairly strongly. And if we also look at other countries that have emerged after COVID pandemic, I think 5% is definitely within range. And I would not be surprised if it might hit even 6%. So, I'm pretty confident that 2023 will be a good year. I could be a little bit more concerned about 24 and 25. And of course, the big question is whether China really will get the consumption engine started again. We very much hope so.
Yes, absolutely. And another interesting point that came out of the legislative session was China's plans to intensify efforts to attract and utilise foreign investment. That must be welcome news for Western investors like you.
Absolutely, and I think the fact remains that China remains quite underinvested compared to the potential. I think it's interesting to note that Sweden invested as much in United States last year as all the rest of the EU countries were investing in China. So if you compare the figures of European investment going into United States, it's actually very, very limited what comes into China. And to me, that most of all signifies that there's actually a potential to do much more. So we welcome any initiatives that would sort of make that more attractive for European companies, definitely.
And Maersk is currently building a logistics centre in Shanghai, which will cost a whopping $150 million, I understand. So that's a very big investment. What is the state of the shipping industry? How is it recovering from the pandemic?
It has been quite a ride for the shipping and logistics industry. We have benefited for elevated rate levels for quite a while during the pandemic as all sort of supply chain issues put pressure on the supply of services. That situation has normalized now to the extent that freight rates are just a fraction of what they used to be, and also because we see demand both overseas and in China being relatively weak now. We of course hope that will improve at some point. And when we go out and do an investment like the one that we have just made in Shanghai, it is because of our belief in the long-term potential. We are not looking at just what we are seeing here and now in 2023 in terms of foreign trade. We do believe and have confidence in the long-term potential in Shanghai, the Yangtze River Delta, and China as such.